Well, let's not give everyone nightmares and not be able to sleep tonight.
Come on.
How do you reckon AI is going to help you in business now? Let's look more macro or micro.
Yeah. So
Should be people in business right now looking to utilize AI today? Should
they be?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Should it be as good as much as you're thinking about branding, marketing, systems, employees, should you be looking at AI as a strategy for your business?
1,000%.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
Please.
My favorite analogy is if you could go back to when the internet was coming out, right? You look at the biggest companies in the world now. They all took advantage of the online revolution.
Yes.
The biggest revolution to date was the industrial. Yeah. Online was big, but the industrial was huge. AI is going to trump both.
Yeah.
It's going to completely change the way we live as humans. But if you only have to go back not that long ago to look at that, we lived very differently in the 70s,
Yeah.
let alone how we live now. And how we're going to live in 10 years is going to be really different to what we do now. I showed you some concepts yesterday of how you can use programs like ChatGPT to think for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit there and brainstorm and come up with everything yourself anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you can get it to do 90% of the work and you can do 10.
Yeah.
You can get it to do a lot of the foundations and you can do the final touches to tweak it, to make it yours. And I think people need to be doing that in their business. I think it's super important. I think if you're not, you're missing out on things that people saw. Like, you look at Amazon. Dude, why is Amazon so good? They just got in early. That's all. They got in early. First to market's better than best to market.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they got in early and they were just a bookstore. They didn't try and sell everything initially. They focused on a particular niche. They got in early. They were just a bookstore. Now they're the biggest company in the world.
Yeah.
They utilized a platform that no one else saw value in. This is bigger than that. And most people are oblivious to it. Have no idea. You know what I mean? And it's moving so fast. That thing yesterday I showed you, I used that 2 months ago. It was not the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was
so that's
not
what
the
I mean
same
by
as it was
it's learning
yesterday.
at a rate that we can't possibly fathom.
Yeah.
And coming back to like what you were saying, how quick things are moving. It's like, I just Googled now what companies didn't exist, in 2010. Instagram. So you think back then, Instagram was launched in 2010. And even when it was launched, it wasn't really a massive thing that everyone used immediately. And
No.
look at the beast that it is now. Uber, Square, Spotify, Vimeo. These are just ones that you guys probably know. There's heaps of other ones. TikTok. All right. Think about, that's just 10 years.
Yeah. So
Right. So imagine what's going to be around in the next 5 years, and not even AI. AI is, well, you said ChatGPT is what, 15 months old?
15 months old.
Yeah. So imagine what's going to be around in the next 10 years. The things, the technology that's going to be around. Like Elon now is, Elon, we're ready for you.
Yeah.
We're ready for you. We haven't done a shout out in a little while. But Elon,
Overdue.
get on. Let's get you on the show. You look at 10 years' time, what's going to be happening? Elon's now doing buses and trucks and all this sort of stuff that are self-driving,
Yeah.
right? Like you would never have thought that you're going to have that in this time frame, in this lifespan. I mean, when you watch Back to the Future, you see some of the silly things that are on there, but that's going to be reality soon. We're going to be able to have these things. Okay, maybe we won't necessarily have flying and hovering cars and hoverboards and all that sort of stuff, but to be able to get rid of human error in driving, imagine maybe the roads will be 10 times safer. Who knows?
Again, with this, I think we as humans, we fail to see, we can't see what we don't know.
Yes.
We can only see within our own model of the world.
That's right.
If you said to people, even some of the most, like Gary Vee,
Yeah.
really good at picking up on things early, right?
Yeah.
He had the chance to invest in Uber and he said, there is no way people are going to jump in cars with strangers.
Yeah.
It's a strange phenomenon and people aren't going to do it.
Yeah.
And look at it now. Uber's $3 billion. Sold it for $3 billion.
It was only like a $20,000 investment that he wanted. And he goes,
25K.
Yeah. and he's
25K,
like,
that would have been worth about
maybe-
100 mil.
No, it was more than that. He said it was like 300 mil or something. He goes, it would have been his ability to buy the jets now.
Yeah.
If he just made that 25 grand investment in Uber back then.
Yeah.
All right, but he's like, no. But he also wears that as well. He's like, no, that's good.
Yeah. He's like, I got punched in the face.
Yeah, I got punched in the face. I got
It's
shown
a-
up because I've had plenty of wins, but also I've had a couple of losses. But people only ever celebrate my accolades.
Yeah. But there's other things. Like if you told people 30 years ago that you're all going to have a little box in your pocket that does everything for you and has access to all the knowledge,
Yeah.
like knowledge is going to become irrelevant. In
Yeah.
the sense of you're not going to need to know it anymore. You're going to have a bot that knows everything.
Yeah, but we were talking about that the other day when we were speaking to Jeanette, and you go, remember when your teacher told you when you were young, you're never going to carry a calculator in
You're
your
not going to
pocket?
carry a calculator around here.
They go, so this is why you need to learn your times tables. Whereas now it's like, no, what's 8 times 8?
Play your phone.
Give me less than 10 seconds and I'll tell you. Why do I need to memorize 8 times 8? Okay, maybe there are some basic skills there that it's good to know.
Yeah, but
okay,
it's becoming less relevant.
Yeah, but knowledge, like I don't need to know the first prime minister of the country. I don't need to know.
You know?
No, I was on an ad years ago. I actually don't know. Hey Siri, who was the first prime minister of Australia? Is
Where
it?
was it?
Hang on.
Robert Hughes?
Is it? We'll see if our builders are smart in this room.
Yeah.
Hey Siri, who was the first prime minister of Australia?
Australia's first Prime Minister, Edmund Barton.
Edmund Barton. Edmund Barton. Okay.
Ba-bum.
What did we just do? I literally just asked an AI bot that piece of information. So why did I need to memorize that in grade 3?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's becoming less...
It's becoming less relevant to do that because we're just being taught how to memorize. Well, that's what the school system is, but it's right there in front of you now.
Yeah. But do you see how we couldn't see that concept 30 years ago?
Oh, absolutely not.
So right now, I believe...
Has the system changed though? I know we're kind of covering an old topic, but you look at now.
It hasn't, no.
Look at AI.
But the way we do things has.
How is AI going to change a school system? It's because so many kids now are going onto ChatGPT and writing a 15,000 word essay because they no longer need to go and think for themselves.
Yeah.
And then they can use other. So now teachers are catching on, or the education's catching on, saying, "Oh, well, we know how we can see when you've used ChatGPT." There's now other AIs that you copy and paste what ChatGPT told you, put it in there and say, make this completely different so you don't know it was done on ChatGPT, and then it's an original piece of work.
And it rewrites it for you. But going back to what I was saying, I think it is going to disrupt things in a way that we can't even fathom
Yeah.
right now. Just like we never thought that people are going to sit there scrolling mindlessly on their phones,
Yeah.
looking at photos of people's breakfast.
Yeah.
I think we can't comprehend what the change is going to be with AI.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like we haven't seen it for what it is yet. And then someone comes up with an idea or a thing where they're like, hey, this could work. And then everyone thinks, nah, because most of the ideas that change the world,
Yeah.
most people don't buy into it initially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true.
Most people don't buy into it. And then it comes out. And then have you seen the whole thing about there's the early adopters and then people later adopters and people who
like
never
your angel
yeah.
investors and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's people who, take it in early and take advantage, ride the waves.
Yeah.
And then there's people who realize that this is starting to take off and they better catch on.
Yeah.
And then there's people who never.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. Or if you want to watch the full episode, you can click over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and thanks for watching.